Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a review on the G-56, the last Italian propeller-driven fighter I have to Spade, and I'm sad. I really enjoy the Italian fighters. They, for the most part, feature great controllability, great guns, well, not the lower tiers, um, and overall they just handle so nicely. They're equivalent to something like they're just more maneuverable than 109s, which I really appreciate. So I do apologise for my voice. I am a bit under the weather. I've had a bit of a sore throat all day. There are a couple of future videos that I've obviously recorded with this voice. Obviously, you'll see this review quite later on from obviously other ones. But yeah, the voice hasn't gone. Well, the voice isn't dead, but it might as well be. So the G-56 is a one of two prototype built aircraft from what I've been able to find, and it was based on an attempt to make the G55 a bit more performance-wise. And to do that, they put a DB603A 12-cylinder inline into the engine compartment instead of I think it was a DB605 they had originally. This bumps up the power to 1738 horse, which is a lot of horse for an inline engine. And let me tell you, this thing really handles nicely. Now, what you got to watch is your fuel load. I noticed the more fuel you take, this thing feels a lot heavier in the roll rate. So I'd probably advise 20 minutes of fuel, maybe even 30 at most, but don't take too much fuel because this thing really suffers because of it, in my experience. So in terms of firepower, it's actually pretty good. We're armed with three 20mm cannons, and obviously external ordnance, which you can see underneath the wings there, is two 100 kilo bombs or two 50 kilo bombs. The 50 kilos, I think, make a cameo appearance in this battle, if I remember rightly. I think this battle was my second game in the aircraft, if I remember rightly, or it was my first, I can't remember which. Probably the second, but obviously I didn't get the 100 kilo bombs till last. These are the better bombs if you're going to use them for ground attack. Now I can already hear people screaming at the screen while I've got Universal set. That was for the last match displayed it. Surprisingly, the Universal belt does do pretty well against ground targets, I find, because it's got more armor-piercing incendiary rounds than the air targets belt. So if you're going to obviously go and farm some ground targets, I recommend this belt. Obviously, armored targets could probably be used, but it's just the fact that they're really low in penetration at just 19mm. They can kill light tanks, but to be honest, I wouldn't ever advise this belt unless you was ground attacking constantly, which this aircraft is not built to do. So in terms of performance at higher altitude, the thing really gets into its stride once you get it above about 18,000 feet. This thing really gets into its stride. Now, the only problems I had Spade in the plane were A2D Sky Sharks. Those things are nightmares. And obviously, with you being a 5.7 fighter, it is pretty much your duty bound to try and deal with them. Because obviously, Germany and Italy don't really feature that many 6.0, 6.3, and even 6.7 aircraft with very limited options. So you are going to have to take on the Sky Sharks. And, well, in one of my first few games, I actually had to fight two Sky Sharks. I shot down one, got the assist on the second, but they are annoying aircraft to deal with. Let's just say that. So we'll go over the stats now before I get into it. Obviously, I do apologize for me talking a bit slower and sounding a bit under the weather. But 66% win rate. There was so many matches. Well, there was three matches where the teams just threw it away and they just wanted to lose. 3 deaths, 42 kills, and 25 ground targets. The 25 ground targets was mostly done in the last game. Well, no, the second to last game, sorry. And the 42 kills, for the most part, were on bots. There was obviously 3 deaths, one of which was to an anti-aircraft fire, surprisingly. But well, I say surprising. This is War Thunder. But most of the kills that I got that you can see there are on bots. Obviously, you'll see quite a few of them this game. The bots really help with your Spade. Let's just say that they really do help. So If you're on a match like Berlin, I highly advise going for the bots. Now, these two other replays that you can see here was planned on recording today, or tomorrow, sorry, but I can't because, well, obviously at the time of this recording, the patch is dropping tomorrow. So you can see I've got a lot of Spade reviews, obviously, that you've seen over the weeks and everything. You'll see how busy I've been spading, but yeah, whatever. I don't get really, well, I don't let spades get under my nose really. Like the only ones that are under my nose are the Sterlings and the Spitfire 5C, and even then, that that was just an unexpected kill off of replays. Really wish Gaijin would get around to dealing with like replays that don't get killed off in the updates, because it'd be really nice. So in this game, we are up against the fucking A2D Sky Shark. Who fucking Ray? And, well, there's one of them, Paddy369. I knew immediately after he'd bombed that base, he was coming up for me. I didn't gain much altitude this game because I knew it was in a full up tier. And even though I'm turning this thing pretty dang hard, and that thing is still really loud. I'm about to turn down the volume at this rate. In fact, I quickly will, because that's one mad little bastard, isn't it? But you'll be surprised how many of those things I actually met. I score a crit, and I blow a flat, but a teammate is about to... I think a teammate's going to secure it. There we go. The 109K came in and secured that kill. I really wish that Germany got some... Well, Germany and Italy, and even Japan, because obviously I do fight with the Japanese sometimes. They really need an aircraft that can keep up performance-wise. Don't get me wrong, the A2D can be dealt with. Same with the P-51H, same with the Bearcat. But the trouble is, the only 6.3 aircraft we have on our team is a G8N1 bomber. He's going to pull his weight, but it's a bomber. What use is that compared to a fighter at 6.3? I would love to see more fighters added for Germany and Italy as well as Japan that could compete with this sort of thing. Like I said, the Sky Sharks can be handled. You are much more maneuverable than them in this aircraft. But let's just say they're annoying. They really are annoying. So obviously at this point I was tracking a dot, and it is that Russian Spitfire. Obviously, I've met plenty of Russian Spitfires, and I know exactly what they can bloody do, so I want him deleted as soon as possible. The 19K takes a head-on, misses by a country mile, it takes a couple of hits from the Spitfire. Spitfire presents me with a lovely shot here, and after a long burst, I score a hit right in the engine. I do blow another flap, but that's my first kill. If there's one thing I love doing, it's killing Spitfires that are ridiculously powerful, because that's pretty much one of their most powerful aircraft on that team. They have P-51H, well, they have a P-51H, they have a Bearcat with the cannons on it, and the most dangerous aircraft now on the enemy team, I would consider it to be either the Bearcat or the Mustang, really. The A2D can work, but like I say, you can deal with it. And of course there is another LF Mark 9. So at this point, this is where we start getting to the bot hunting. Obviously, you can see over there that Nicky's being chased by a Spitfire. I think it's a 14E, poor sod. I don't know why you'd fly 14E nowadays, but even so. And obviously I'm moving into intercept these bots. Now I don't think I had the belts done at this time. I don't think I did. I'll tell you about a tracer fire, I'll know. But I don't recall having the tracer round, or like the upgraded belts in this battle. I don't recall it. So once again, there's another fucking Sky Shark. I swear, these things are bloody annoying. But luckily that 19K, whilst he did take some damage, he managed to kill the Sky Shark, which is always helpful. I'm just gonna move my mic as I grab a drink here, but yes, these belts are stock. And well, there's your first bot kill. Now, the bots do not come up on this on your scorecard in the battle, but you do gain a rise in points. So I've left the battle feed up so you can obviously keep track of which bots are dead and which aren't. That's better. But let's just say, obviously you've already seen it, there's another bot kill. But let's just say these next few weeks are going to be, well, obviously the few weeks that you've already seen are just going to be clusterfuck of older Spade reviews and obviously Swedish stuff. So I do apologise for that, but obviously I can't help Gaijin being Gaijin and everything. And I can't help the fact that I like spading. And obviously this is the last propeller driven fighter I have for Italy in Spade, which is sad really. I really enjoy the Italian fighters. But it's literally it's 8:53 UK time right now at night, and I literally just convinced, and I'll say like I need to do this because I'm not taking the G-56 out again, because I know exactly what its repair cost is. It's like 47 grand, and it's honestly ridiculous what this repair cost is. I don't think it's warranted. It's gonna be my mic pack. The repair cost on this aircraft is not warranted. It's a good aircraft, yes, but there is no way that this thing should be 48 grand to repair when an equivalent US aircraft costs nothing in that regard. Kind of annoying, but yeah, whatever, you got to deal with it unfortunately. So I believe there's only, I think that over there, that bot over there that's smoking, I think he's the last bot for the moment. And yeah, he's streaming oil at the moment, so that 288 has a go at him, but completely missed his target. And well, there we go, that's the last one for now. And I start making my way back to base. Obviously I'm missing a couple of flaps, but that's honestly no deal. And obviously I did take a scratch from the defensive gunners on board those IL-2 bots. Nothing's really happening in the chat, obviously. Teams just there like, well obviously I said when the A2G Skyshark showed up, I said cheers for the backup, didn't expect to see one of those things. Because see, I completely forgot there was 6.7 to be honest. So I'll skip us ahead, obviously not much is going to happen from here on out. More bot kills. And a bonus kill on a enemy bomber, which is going to come up shortly. But landed this thing, she lands beautifully. Very easy to land, and at this point, obviously the B-29 right there has just bombed the runway. But he bombed it a split second too late, and he didn't get the points for it. Yes, it was my second game because I've got the bombs. I'm making a rule, if I'm not in a US aircraft, I always get at least one bomb rack done if the plane has it. So that's always been one of my rules. And obviously I've got the 50 kilo bombs. The GA-N1 Renzan has just killed the A2D Skyshark. And obviously at this point I saw a dot briefly in the clouds. You can see it right there. That is the TU-2S 44. Which I need to spade those things, but looking at the BR I really don't see the point. But yeah, whatever. Excuse me. Like I say, it's really like I've saved my voice as best I can to do this. So yeah, it is painful. Obviously, you'll see videos where I've got a bad voice and I don't have a bad voice. That's just how it's going to be for a bit. But no big deal. So obviously I've just said in the chat that the TU-2 is in the clouds. The Bearcat just went down there and got butchered. Thankfully, bloody Bearcats. I mean, they're easy to deal with if you know what you're doing. But if a skilled pilot's in the controls of a Bearcat, you're gonna have some trouble. There's another bot kill. I've actually lost track how many I've killed now. I think I've killed about 13 bots. There is a B-29 on the enemy team, which I believe a teammate is actually intercepting right now. It's I think it's the DOE 325. And also, before I go any further, I terribly apologise for this hairy feet for destroying all of these bots, but I'm sorry mate, I am spading, I need the points, so... Well, I was spading, should I say. Terribly sorry mate, but it has to be done. All these Borises and Dimitris or whatever you call them, because they are IL-2 bots, they have to be slaughtered for spading, I'm afraid, so I do apologise. Obviously these are not the Avenger Premium ones, but they're still something. So around about this point, the Tu-2S has obviously dropped its bombs on the runway, and yeah, he's going to come for a crack. So obviously I've just dodged the defensive fire of that IL-2 there. And honestly, this thing carries ammo for days. I was just spraying at those IL-2s and I was easily able to pick them off like they were nothing. It's around about this point I noticed the dot of the Tu-2S. He goes for the Ju-288. The 288 forces it inside him, so then obviously I can get a shot. I get a shot into the Tu-2S, and well, for some reason he gets the bright idea to try and dogfight a G-56, which is a fucking death sentence, especially in a bomber like that. Took me a bit to get my lead in, but once I did, the 20mm landed in that fuel tank, and that is the end of that Tu-2S, and that's going to be my second player kill. It's funny how I strapped the bombs on thinking, oh, I might go for some ground targets after I kill these bots, and I ended up bagging a Tu-2S out of it. Unfortunately though, the fire has gone out, so I have to go back in and finish the job. But the Tu-2S pilot, for some reason, decides to hug a tree, and that is the end of that. So what do I think of the G-56? Well, can I just say this is probably one of the best Italian fighters I've flown in a long time. Because I've flown the Euro 2005. This thing's good. I would compare it to the Euro 2005 in most regards. But please, do give this thing a go. That high repair cost of, I believe, it's about 47 grand if I remember right, if you don't take into account belts and bombs and stuff like that. There you go, 47,690. I still have 6 free repairs after spading the aircraft, so make sure to get it done before those free repairs on. If not, just plunk a day's worth of premium and that'll be more than enough, trust me. It's only about 190 golden eagles anyway. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video on the G-56. Like I say, I apologize for my voice and if I sound a bit quiet. I can't help that, that's just the way my voice is at the moment. And I'll catch you all next one.